Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Back working on Project KFC, aka the cheap BMW that I bought from Birmingham for not a lot of money. So we have found the coolant leak. Well, I'm fairly confident I found the coolant leak. So I will run this, it's actually a smoke tester, but it can also work kind of as a pressure tester, or well, it has worked like that today anyway. So I'll get it hooked up, get it switched on. Now granted, it doesn't seal the best on here, so I'm just going to push this down. We have found a leak, as you can see, just at the front of the car there. That is coolant, so that means it's coming from the radiator. Yes, the radiator is in fact leaking, which kind of makes sense because the whole fan that was kind of covered in I thought it was water, but it was obviously coolant. As you can see, the fan is actually removed. Why have I removed the fan? Because the old one that broke. I'll show you that in a minute. That's the replacement one. This is the replacement radiator. I just bought a whole entire rad pack. I think it was like £30. Came with the coolant radiator, the AC condenser, and then also the fan as well. I have ran a smoke tester on this. Doesn't seem to be any leaks. This one seems to be in much better condition, slightly newer as well. So yeah, I'm gonna run with this. Already gave it a good clean up. As I mentioned, this is the replacement fan that came with it as well. Now the reason that I'm swapping that out is because, well, this is the original. When lying underneath the car, I noticed that this red wire was actually disconnected. It had completely corroded and just came away. Took all this apart, tried to see if it could be salvaged, you know, if I could just solder it back on, but the contact point is just corroded away. As I needed a radiator anyway, I thought I may as well just get a rad pack and then swap this out. And yeah, the new one is in much better condition. That's all still sealed up. So hopefully when I install this, of course we will have a functioning fan, because I remember that was one of the fault codes that it was having, but also hopefully the AC will work, because that was one thing that has never worked on this car since I bought it. So yeah, let's get cracking. Shouldn't be too difficult. Just remove this air intake here, probably get the engine cover out of the way as well, and then remove the old radiator. Okay, so first things first, we'll get the air intake out of the way. Just 3 Torx 20 screws. And a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a like. It really does help me out and it shows your appreciation. There we are. Let's lift the main engine cover out of the way as well. Now, if you are using this as a guide on how to remove the radiator, you will have the fan in the way, of course. Just 1 screw holding that in place there, a Torx 25 screw. Then you need to just pry this piece of plastic out, and then the whole fan should just slide out, of course, once you have the fan disconnected from this electrical connector. But as we already have that out of the way, all we need to do is remove 2 screws. 1 there at the top, again a Torx 25, 1 there at the top, again a Torx 25, and then just disconnect the coolant hoses, 1 there and 1 there. Make sure you have a bucket underneath to catch the coolant. Just pry the secure and clip up and the hose should pull off. There we are. Just leave that up there. No need to drain any more out of that. Get the lower hose removed. There's going to be a lot of coolant come out of this, because we're going to have pretty much the entirety of the radiator and then anything that's in the cylinder head as well. There we are. Let's get those 2 screws removed while that's draining. And that's 2 removed. Now this radiator should, he says, should just lift out. Now, I'm not a real mechanic, but I would say this is a good reason why this radiator is leaking. That should not be like that. That's obviously been pushed either from the front or from underneath. Let's have a look what the other side is looking like. Yeah, it's all crushed. Don't know if this has had an impact, like I said, from the front or from below, but yeah, this radiator's knackered. Now what I'm going to do then, just give the AC condenser a good clean up, also the intercooler as well. You get a lot of leaves and things trapped behind here, so I'll get rid of all of that, and then we can just install the new radiator. Nice and clean in here now. Doesn't take long, but it just makes all the difference. You don't want all those leaves trapped behind your radiator. It's just going to make it work less efficiently. Okay, I'll just slide it down into position. Okay, there we go. Should be in position now. Get those 2 screws reinstalled. Now we can get the hoses reinstalled. Actually, let's get the fan reinstalled first. It'll probably be slightly easier to install the fan with the hoses still out of the way. Well, that's the thinking anyway. Again, just make sure the fan is free of any leaves and God knows what else. I've already done that. This just has to slide down into position. Make sure that lines up with the slot on the radiator, and that as well, and of course just 1 screw holding this in place. Should be in position now. Let's get that 1 screw reinstalled. Okay, so with the fan now nice and secure, I can get it plugged back in. Just going to spray some electrical contact cleaner. Thought one of the pins had snapped them, but there is only 3 in here. Does it want to click? No, seems secure though. And now you can just get the hoses plumbed back up. The lower one. That's on, and then the upper one. Make sure they are fully on all the way and flush before you push the clip down. There we are. Okay, so you can just fill up the cooling system and then check for any leaks. Oh, also want to activate the fan as well, see if it's working. Okay, so in here just have a mix, 50-50 mix of G11 concentrated coolant, which is the blue kind, and then distilled water. So already mixed up. Just going to fill this up to the max, and then I am going to have to bleed the cooling system again. Okay, so topped up the coolant to the max. I've ran the engine up, got up to temperature, bled the system. Good thing, no leaks, which is amazing. And an even better thing, the fan also works. hopefully means that the AC will now work. Okay, so there we go, another fix done on the KFC project. Glad that the coolant leak is now fixed. Hopefully no more leaks for the foreseeable future. We already had to deal with a massive oil leak and now we've had to deal with a coolant leak. Hopefully no more. What is next? Still a bunch of maintenance items. I am going to be doing the clutch and flywheel as well. It's going to be a massive job trying to do that on the floor. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, but we're going to get it done. I'm confident of it. I think I am going to be doing the drive belt kit as well, drive belt and tensioner, and we'll probably do the water pump, thermostat and all that goodness as well. I know I'm throwing a lot of money at this car, but as I've said before, it needs to be reliable and I want to put a bunch of miles on this, and I'm not planning on getting rid of it anytime soon. I know you all think I'm probably insane for keeping this bucket of chicken, but yeah, it's a cheap run around, it does what I need it to do, and as I mentioned, it's a daily driver, so yeah, need to keep it on the road every day. I want to thank you all for watching anyway. Hopefully this video has been helpful, hopefully you've all enjoyed it. Please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in the next one.